Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we are going to dive into a few things that as officials we should pay attention to during timeouts. Now, if you are a new official, the first thing that you might think to do if you call a timeout during a game is you automatically have to go and report that timeout to the table. However, as officials, timeouts are a time that we should become alive as officials. Anytime there's a dead ball, we should come alive as officials, because if we are not paying attention during a dead ball, these are the times where we can get in the most trouble if we are not paying attention. And I'll give you a prime example. When I was refereeing one of my junior college games, we had a visiting team. They called a timeout about 2 minutes into the first quarter. As the teams were crossing paths, going to their own bench, there was one starter from the visiting team who tries to trip the player of the home team. And he tries to do it discreetly, but enough to where, in my judgment, there was unsportsmanlike intent behind it. And so I call a technical foul on one of the starting players, 2 minutes into the game. And I'll explain here in just a bit on how the play was handled after that, but my point is during a dead ball you have to be paying attention, because this is a time where players think they can get away with stuff, and you have to make sure that they don't in order to manage and control the game. So before you go and report a timeout to the table, let the players have time to get to their benches. Make sure there's no trash talking, there's no body bumping, no tripping between any of the players, and then as soon as the players are at their bench, now you can go and report the timeout to the table. And just as a quick side tip, as a communication guideline, because this was one thing my mentor told me after this moment in my game, is the coach, of course, they are going to try to defend their players, especially this early in the game. And so the coach was very upset that I called a technical foul 2 minutes into the game on his starting player, and I was just explaining to him that he tripped the player. It's a technical foul, but my explanation, what my mentor told me that I could improve on, is I have to set the tone as a game manager. And so just for you to think about, if there's something that a player does that you would not permit on either side, then you need to make that clear during moments like this. And so instead of just saying, oh, coach, he tripped the player, like it's a technical foul. Instead, what I could have said, according to my mentor, is that, coach, he tripped the player on purpose going to the bench. I won't let their team do that to your team, and I won't let your team do it to their team. It's end of discussion. It's a technical foul. We're moving on. And then go from there, because it's really hard for the coach to argue that if you're setting the tone as a game manager. So I hope these game management and timeout tips help you, and that you'll consider them the next time you call a timeout.